To recap, 2 weeks ago, I ended the transition period and officially began building muscle. And those 3 weeks really primed my body to build muscle as fast as possible. In my first 2 weeks in muscle building mode, went just about as well as I could have hoped. After my first week of muscle building, my weight increased from 149.9 to 152.2. And my body fat held steady at 5.4%. And it feels great that the scale is now moving in the right direction. But even though I gained 2.5 pounds in that first week, I also increased my calories from around 2,200 to about 2,850. And this means that I also increased my carbohydrates, which store more water in your muscles. So while it's completely possible that I did gain some muscle in that first week, I also know that at least some of that weight gain was from water. But I was much more excited about my weight gain in week 5. I went from 152.2 to 153.4. And since my body fat once again remained steady at 5.4% and my body measurements continued to increase, I was much more confident after week 5 that I am in fact building muscle. I continue with my simple workouts 3 days per week for less than an hour each workout. And the squat, deadlift, and bench press remain the staples of my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday workouts. Over these first 2 weeks, I made some pretty big jumps in these key exercises, going from 135 to 155 pounds on the squat and 155 to 185 pounds on the deadlift. But again, I attribute this more to the fact that I'm just starting out lifting heavy weights again, and really just finding my base of strength after 3 weeks of lifting really light weight to focus on my form. So once I really settle in, my general rule of thumb is to keep my weight increases, poundage increases, to no more than 5% or maximum 10% from week to week. But everything went great. I'm going to continue with the same workout routine, increasing the weight, sets, or repetitions, and continuing to mix up the exercises. So I challenge my body every week and give it no choice but to grow. Then I just continue to feed my body and give it everything that it needs to build new muscle. Since I wasn't sure how much of my week 4 weight increase was due to muscle, I didn't change anything with my nutrition from week 4 to week 5. But I was pretty confident that I added at least some muscle in week 5. So I increased my calories just slightly. I added about 30 calories per day to keep that same ratio of calories to lean muscle that I had in week 5. And 30 calories probably seems quite silly. And it's true that it's not going to make much of a difference in 1 week. But over time, as I add more muscle, those small increases will add up to a significant increase that will allow me to maintain the calorie surplus that I need to continue to build lean muscle. And I only have 2 weeks of data at this point, so this ratio isn't set in stone. If I need to increase it in the future, then I'll do that. But for now, I'm not going to change or overthink what's working. And that's the key to this whole thing. What I'm doing here is very simple, with only a few variables changing every week. So I can easily monitor those variables and make any changes that I need to make in order to gain muscle as fast as possible. The problem that I see so often is that guys will start out adding all kinds of supplements, using all kinds of complicated workouts and strategies. And this gets them off track very quickly because there are just too many variables and too many moving parts to really understand what's going on. And so once they get off track, they can't make the proper adjustments to build muscle. And that's why I created this series, just to show you how I'm thinking about this process of building muscle and the adjustments that I'm making from week to week. If you found this helpful, subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll continue with this series, showing you what I'm doing and answering any questions that you have about how to build muscle. See you next time.